There are moments in science where the more we learn, the less we understand. Because nature does not always follow the rules we expect. Some animals heal without scars. Some navigate using invisible forces we cannot see. Some survive conditions that should erase all known biology. And even today, with advanced imaging, genetics, and AI modeling, there are abilities in animals that scientists still cannot fully explain. Not because we lack data, but because the systems behind them are still incomplete. And in this video, we are going into 8 animal abilities scientists still can't fully explain. Cleaner fish. Most animals never realize they're looking at themselves. Show them a mirror, and they'll either ignore it or attack their own reflection. For decades, scientists believed only a handful of animals possessed the self-awareness needed to recognize themselves. Then they tested a fish. The cleaner wrasse is only about the size of your hand, yet when researchers placed a colored mark on its throat where it could only be seen in a mirror, the fish did something no one expected. Instead of attacking its reflection, it repeatedly looked in the mirror, swam away, then rubbed its throat against rocks as if trying to remove the mark. When it returned, it checked the mirror again. The behavior stunned researchers. Did the fish actually recognize itself? Or was something else happening inside its tiny brain? Even today, scientists continue debating what these experiments really reveal about animal consciousness. If a creature with a brain smaller than your thumb can pass a test once thought reserved for humans and great apes, how much do we really understand about intelligence? Star-nosed mole. Beneath the forest floor, where sunlight never reaches, a hunter is already searching. Not with its eyes, not with its ears, but with an ability unlike anything else on Earth. Meet the star-nosed mole. At first glance, it doesn't even look real. 22 fleshy tentacles surround its nose, making it resemble something from another planet. For years, many believed they were simply used for smell. The truth is far more remarkable. Each tiny ray is packed with thousands of specialized touch receptors, creating one of the most sensitive sensory organs ever discovered. Instead of seeing its surroundings, the mole feels them. Its nose moves so rapidly across the ground that it can identify food in a fraction of a second. By the time most predators react, the hunt is already over. To us, the underground is nothing but darkness. To the star-nosed mole, it's a world filled with detail. Every vibration, every tiny movement, every hidden insect becomes part of a map that only it can read. Scientists are still fascinated by how such a tiny brain can process this incredible amount of information so quickly. Sometimes, nature doesn't create better eyesight. It creates an entirely different way to understand the world. Far beneath the surface of the ocean, an alien intelligence is watching. It has no bones. It has no centralized command center. If you lock it inside a glass jar, it will quietly analyze the threads, grip the glass, and unscrew the lid from the inside. Meet the octopus. Researchers have spent decades trying to find the limits of its mind. It recognizes individual human faces. It solves complex puzzles. It even holds grudges against specific people. But its true superpower defies everything we know about biology. Its mind is not trapped in its head. Humans process the world through a single brain. The octopus operates a decentralized network. 2/3 of its neurons are entirely scattered throughout its 8 arms. Each arm can independently think, taste, and make decisions without asking the head for permission. If an arm is severed, it will still reach out, grab food, and try to feed a mouth that is no longer there. To hide, they don't just change color, they physically warp the 3D texture of their flesh to instantly mimic rocks and coral. Science cannot fully explain how such a vastly different form of consciousness evolved on Earth. We have spent billions of dollars searching the stars for extraterrestrial life, but we may have already found it, swimming in the shadows of our own world. Deep beneath the scorched earth of East Africa, something is quietly defying the laws of nature. It thrives in absolute darkness. It breathes air that would suffocate a human. And while every other mammal slowly decays over time, this one remains frozen in its youth. Meet the naked mole rat. It looks completely defenseless, a pale, sightless creature with teeth growing straight through its lips. Yet, hidden inside this fragile body is a biological fortress that baffles modern medicine. Most rodents are dead in 3 years. This one easily lives past 30. But it doesn't just endure time, it ignores it. Their bones never turn brittle, their muscles never weaken, and they are virtually immune to cancer. When oxygen vanishes in their crowded tunnels, they do something entirely alien. They rewire their metabolism to burn fructose, surviving exactly like a plant. Under a microscope, their cells are shielded by a heavy, syrupy armor. If a tumor attempts to grow, this thick syrup physically crushes the disease, suffocating it instantly. Scientists can see how the defenses work, but they cannot fully explain how such a flawless system evolved. They spend their entire lives buried in the dirt. Yet this strange, blind creature has already conquered the two forces that terrify us most: disease and time. If I told you one of the loudest explosions in the ocean comes from an animal no bigger than your hand, you'd probably picture a shark, or maybe an orca. But the truth is far stranger. Meet the pistol shrimp. At first glance, it looks harmless, small, fragile, easy to ignore. But hidden beneath one oversized claw is a weapon so powerful that it has amazed scientists for decades. Instead of simply pinching its enemies, the pistol shrimp snaps its claw shut so incredibly fast that it fires a bubble through the water at nearly 100 kilometers per hour. For a split second, that tiny bubble collapses with such extreme force that it creates a shockwave powerful enough to stun or even kill nearby prey. Even more unbelievable, as the bubble implodes, the temperature inside briefly reaches thousands of degrees hotter than the surface of the sundae. The flash lasts for only an instant, too fast for your eyes to see. Scientists understand the physics behind this incredible phenomenon, known as cavitation. But watching such immense power come from such a tiny creature still feels almost impossible. In the dark depths of the ocean, size isn't always what makes something dangerous. Sometimes, the smallest creatures carry the biggest surprises. Lyrebird. Some animals survive by running, others survive by fighting. The lyrebird does something far stranger. Hidden deep within the forests of Australia, this ordinary-looking bird has mastered one of the most extraordinary abilities in the animal kingdom. It can perfectly copy almost any sound it hears. Not just the songs of other birds, but camera shutters, car alarms, chainsaws, even the sound of a crying baby. Scientists believe the lyrebird learns these sounds by carefully listening to its surroundings and practicing them over time. But what continues to fascinate researchers is just how incredibly accurate those imitations can become. In areas where forests have been disturbed by humans, some lyrebirds now imitate machines more often than wild birds. Imagine walking through a quiet forest, only to hear a camera clicking, a chainsaw roaring, or a car alarm echoing through the trees, with no humans anywhere in sight. For the lyrebird, every sound becomes part of its performance. And sometimes, it's so convincing that even people can't tell the difference. Bombardier beetle. A hungry predator moves closer, certain this tiny beetle will be an easy meal. It reaches forward, ready to strike. Then, a loud pop. A cloud of burning chemicals erupts into the predator's face. Within a split second, the hunter becomes the one running away. Meet the bombardier beetle, an insect so small, most people would never notice it. Yet hidden inside its body is one of nature's most incredible defense systems. Instead of biting or relying on venom, the beetle stores two harmless chemicals in separate chambers. Only when danger appears do those chemicals mix together. The reaction is almost instant. The pressure builds, the temperature rises, and the beetle fires a boiling hot chemical spray directly at its attacker. The blast can reach nearly 100 degrees Celsius, hot enough to burn, powerful enough to force predators to retreat. Even more astonishing, the beetle doesn't fire just once. It releases rapid bursts, almost like a tiny machine gun, giving it remarkable control over where the spray lands. Scientists have studied this explosive defense for decades, not because it's the strongest weapon in nature, but because it solves a problem engineers still admire today. How do you safely store an explosion inside something no bigger than your thumb? Sometimes, the greatest weapons don't belong to the biggest animals. Sometimes, they're hidden inside creatures most of us walk past without ever noticing. What if I told you a sea turtle can travel across a whole ocean and still find the exact beach where it was born? This is not luck. This is not random swimming. A sea turtle can read the Earth like a living map. Scientists believe turtles use Earth's magnetic field almost like an invisible GPS. Every part of the ocean has its own magnetic signature, and the turtle can sense it. So when it drifts through endless water, it is not lost. It is following a hidden path no human eye can see. And it gets crazier. Some turtles can come back to the same region years later, even after crossing thousands of miles. Tiny creatures, huge ocean, perfect direction. That is why the sea turtle is not just surviving. It is navigating a world built on signals we barely understand.